Hello everyone, welcome to IITN's GATE classes. So today's session we are going to see the GATE 2019 instrumentation solution of circuit theory. So let us then begin today's session. So the first question that was asked in 2019 to instrumentation student is, in the figure A and B shown below, the transformer are identical and ideal. So means identical and ideal means what? That they have turn ratios same and there are no losses in the transformer. Except that the transformer in figure B is center tap. So you can see this is a center tap transformer. Assuming ideal diodes, the ratio of the root mean square RMS voltage, the resistor R in figure A to that of figure B. So you can see both of them are ideal transformer and identical transformer. So that means turn ratios are the same. So if turn ratio is n is to 1 over here, so this will be also n is to 1. So we don't need to consider all these things, let it be. So what we see that this is our primary side and this is our secondary side. So whatever is the primary voltage, according to the turn ratio, same will be the secondary voltage. So I can take it as 1 is to 1 also. It is up to me because it is said identical and ideal. So if I take 1 is to 1, so this will be also 1 is to 1 turn ratio. So I am assuming 1 is to 1 for our question to be solved easily. So that means secondary voltage is also V naught sine omega t. Okay, here V naught sine omega t. So what will be the RMS value over here? So RMS value, let me write it as 1, RMS 1. So this will be, this is a sinusoidal wave. So this will be V naught by root 2. If the turn ratios are 1 is to 1 over here, same is here also 1 is to 1. So now look very carefully, this is a center tap transformer. Center tap transformer means what? If here in the primary side, sorry, in the secondary side, what will happen? Here it will be plus minus V naught by 2 sine omega t, and in your negative half cycle, this will be reverse in polarity, means obviously this will be divided in 2. Okay, V naught by 2 sine omega t, because the magnitude of the voltage, it is divided in 2 parts in your what? In your center tap transformer. So here RMS 2, okay, so this will look something like this. So here if it is V naught sine omega t, so here the waveform, okay, let me draw separate waveforms. So I have assumed turn ratio to be 1 is to 1. So this is for this waveform, output waveform I am drawing. So this is the output. So this is still V naught sine omega t, and here it will be something like this. So this will be V naught by 2 sine omega t. Okay. So for this RMS value will be what? V naught by 2 root 2. Okay. V naught by 2 root 2. So now here it is asked RMS value of A to B. So RMS 1 by RMS 2. So this will be equal to V naught by root 2 divided by V naught by 2 root 2. So root 2 V naught gets cancelled. So this is 2 is to 1. So option B is your correct answer. Very simple question. Just for explaining I have done this much, or else you can solve this question in like 30 seconds and move to the next question. Okay. So the next question asked is, if each of the value of inductance, capacitance and resistance of a series LCR circuit are doubled, the Q factor of the circuit would be. So we know what? Q factor of series RLC circuit, it is given by 1 by R under root of L by C. And similarly, if I talk about Q factor of parallel RLC circuit, so that is equal to R under root of C by L. Why? Because we know Q factor of series RLC is equal to 1 by Q factor of parallel RLC. Okay, so this we know. Okay, so now let us solve this question for series RLC. Homework you can take for parallel RLC. Okay, so here it is given if each of the value of inductance, capacitance and resistance of LCR circuit are doubled, Q factor of the circuit will be. So initially it is this, after I double, so this will be Q double. So this will be 1 by 2R under root of 2L by 2C. So 2 gets cancelled. This is 1 by 2 under root of 1 by R under root of L by C. So this is equal to half Q initial. Okay, initial means what? When normal RLC was present. After that we have doubled all the elements in the RLC circuit. So this was initial. So you can see basically it increases by a factor 2. Okay, it reduces by a factor 2. So option B is your correct answer. Okay, so your Q factor, if you increase all the resistance, capacitance and inductance, it will decrease by a factor 2. So obviously if in series it is decreasing by 2, in your parallel RLC it will be increasing by 2. So in the question if it was asked that instead of series RLC, series, if it was mentioned parallel RLC, then you would have marked option D as your answer. Okay. So the next question is very simple question. In the circuit shown below, the maximum power transferred to the load RL when RL is equal. So according to maximum power transfer theorem, we know what? Maximum power will be transferred to the load when your load resistance is equal to the internal source impedance, source resistance. So here you can see what? That this is 5 ohm. So obviously RL should be also 5 ohm for your maximum power to be transferred from source side to the load side. Okay. So answer to this question will be 5 ohm. So this is a very simple question. No concepts involved in this question. Okay. So the next question is what? This is also a 1 mark question. Consider a circuit comprising only resistor with constant resistance and ideal independent DC voltage source. Okay. If all the resistance are scaled down by a factor 10 and all sources voltage are scaled by a factor 10, the power dissipated in the circuit scales up by a factor of. So you need to calculate by how much factor the power dissipated in the circuit increases or decreases. Scales up, so increases obviously. Okay. So for this kind of question, it is very simple, as they haven't mentioned anything about the number of resistor or what is the value of the resistance or what is the value of the DC voltage source. It is very simple. If we consider the DC volt source as 1 volt and your resistance as 1 ohm. Okay. So I am taking a circuit something like this. The most simplest circuit, one DC source and one resistor. So something like this I am taking. So this is 1 ohm and this is your 1 volt. So again read the question. Consider a circuit comprising only resistor and constant resistance and ideal independent. If all the resistance are scaled down by a factor 10 and all the source are scaled, the power dissipated in the circuit. So power dissipated here. So total power delivered in the circuit, it will be what? It will be delivered by this source. So P delivered is equal to, so current flowing here will be 1 ampere. So P delivered will be what? It will be 1 volt into 1 ampere. So that is 1 watt. Okay, in this circuit. Now next circuit, what happens? It is given that the resistance are scaled down. Okay. So let me erase this current. So what it is said, if all the resistance are scaled down by a factor 10, so 1 by 10, and all the source voltage are scaled by factor 10, so okay, multiplied by 10, the power dissipated. Okay, fine. So now the current will be what? Current here will be 10 divided by 1 by 10. So that is 100 ampere. Now power delivered is how much? Power delivered is now 100 ampere V into I, so 100 into 10, so that is 1000 watt. So the power dissipation in the circuit scales up by a factor of how much factor? You can see previously it was 1 watt, now it is 1000 watt, so it scales up by a factor of 1000. So 1000 is the correct answer to this question. So this question is also very good. The next question. In the circuit shown below, initially the switch S1 is open. The capacitor C1 has a charge of 6 coulomb and the capacitor C2 has 0 coulomb. After S1 is closed, the charge on C2 in steady state is dash coulombs. So we know what, see, if this was a 2-mark question, I would have discussed the theory with you people, that how basically this is charge is distributing in after at steady state. But here I will be directly using the formula. We know what VC1 at steady state is equal to VC2 at steady state. It will be given by V1 C1 plus V2 C2 divided by C1 plus C2, where V1 and V2 is the initial voltage of the capacitor C1 and C2 respectively. Okay. So what is the initial voltage given here? C1 has a charge of 6 coulomb. So charge is given. So QC1 0 minus is given what? 6 coulomb. So this is equal to C1 V1 is equal to 6 coulomb. So V1 is equal to what? It is equal to 6 divided by C1. So that is 1. So 6 volt. 6 volt. And C2 has 0 coulomb. So that means V2 is what? It is 0 volt. So now put in this formula. So that will be 6 into 1 plus 0 divided by 1 plus 2, 3. So that comes out to be 2 coulomb. So VC1 infinite, VC2 infinite is 2 coulomb. And here remember one thing. See, it is given after S1 is closed, the charge, voltage is not asked, steady state voltage is not asked. I am very sure that few students, they have marked 2 as their answer and they have moved to the next question, and 2 is wrong because this is your voltage. This is not 2 coulomb. Okay, this is not 2 coulomb. This is your 2 volts. Okay, 2 volts. So this is wrong answer. So now you need to find the charge on C2 in steady state. So charge on C2 in steady state, it will be what? It will be equal to C2 into VC2 infinite. So that is equal to 2 into 2. So that is 4 farad. So 4 is your answer to this question. Sorry, 4 farad I am writing. 4 coulomb should be the answer. Okay. So 4 coulomb is your correct answer to this question. Okay. So the next question, this is a 2-mark question and very simple question. In the circuit shown below, a step input voltage of magnitude 5 volt is applied at node A. Okay. So this is your input waveform at time t equal to 0. If the capacitor has no charge at t less than 0, so t less than 0 means what? Initially your capacitor is an unenergized capacitor. The voltage at node P at t equal to 6 microsecond is in volts. So they are asking what will be the capacitor voltage or the voltage at node P at t equal to 6 microsecond. So let us do one thing. What? We are going to write the transient equation for this node P. So this node P voltage is actually your capacitor voltage. You can see. Okay, VCT. So we know what? VCT is equal to VC infinite plus VC 0 minus VC infinite e to the power minus t by tau. Okay, where tau is your time constant, R equivalent into C, because there are more than 2 R's over here. So we need to find the R equivalent. Okay. Always remember one thing also, that this transient equation is valid for only first order system, and this is a first order system. Why? Because you can see only there is one energy storing element or there is just one C present over here. Okay. So now let us calculate all the parameters Vc infinite, Vc 0 minus. So directly you can see capacitor has no charge at t less than 0. So no charge means what? That the voltage, initial voltage across capacitor is 0. So I am writing over here Vc 0 minus is equal to 0. Okay. So that means this is equal to Vc 0 plus, because we know what capacitor voltage is a continuous function of time. So this is same. Now let us try to calculate Vc infinite. So you can see if this 5 volt it is applied till infinite, your capacitor will go into steady state, and capacitor going into steady state means what? That it will be open circuited. So okay, let us draw the equivalent circuit diagram. So it will look something like this. So this is your Vc infinite, this is 2 kilo ohm and this is 3 kilo ohm. Okay, 2 kilo ohm, 3 kilo ohm. Okay. So now let us see what will be Vc infinite. So this is very simple. Why? Because this 2 kilo ohm and 3 kilo ohm are in series, because 0 ampere is flowing as capacitor is open circuited. So whatever current is flowing from here, same will flow through here. And this voltage Vc infinite is actually the voltage across this 3 kilo ohm. So I can apply what? Voltage divider I can apply. So Vc infinite is equal to 5 into 3 divided by 2 plus 3. So this 5 gets cancelled. So this will be 3 volt. So Vc infinite comes out to be 3 volt. Okay, it is 3 volt. Now we need to calculate what? R equivalent. So R equivalent, calculation of R equivalent is very simple. You just calculate the Thevenin voltage in place of this capacitor, and by shorting or by making the independent sources 0. So if I make the independent sources 0, so here is the source connected. So this will be 0 and here is your 2 kilo ohm, and from this point we are going to calculate the R equivalent, and this is your 3 kilo ohm. So you can see what this 2 kilo ohm and this 3 kilo ohm, they both are in parallel. So R equivalent is equal to 2 into 3 divided by 5. So 6 by 5 kilo ohm. Okay, so this is R equivalent. So let me write it over here. R equivalent is 6 by 5 kilo ohm. And you can see capacitor is directly 5 nanofarad. So it's okay. So let us now put everything in your this expression. So Vc infinite is 3. So 3 plus 0 minus 3 e to the power minus t by tau. So tau is Rc. So now take care of the units. Okay. So this is in kilo ohm. So that will be 6 by 5 into 10 to the power 3, and this is 5 nanofarad. So 5 into 10 to the power minus 9. Now look here very carefully. This will be 3 1 minus e to the power minus t into 10 to the power 6 divided by 6. Okay, this 5 gets cancelled and 6 is here, and this t is in second. Okay, this t is in second because I have actually taken R equivalent as 6 by 5 into 10 to the power 3, that means in ohm, and this capacitor in your farad. So whenever your ohm and farad they get multiplied, it is actually a unit of time. Okay, so this is second. Now in the question it is asked, find the voltage at node P at t equal to 6 microseconds. So put t is equal to 6 microseconds. So this will be 3 1 minus e to the power minus 6 into 10 to the power minus 6 into 10 to the power 6 divided by 6. So everything gets cancelled and this will be e to the power minus 1. So this is 3 1 minus e inverse. So that is 3 into 0.632. I am going to use my calculator for this. So that comes out to be 1.896 volt. So the answer to this question is 1.896 volt. Okay. So good question. So in the next question, it is asked, in the circuit shown below, the angular frequency omega at which current is in phase with the voltage. That means they are asking the resonance frequency. Why? Because whenever the current is in phase with the voltage, that means your resonance condition. So very simple question. You can see basically what, that this is a parallel RLC circuit. And you know what? In parallel circuit, your admittance, they add up. So I am going to calculate the equivalent admittance. So Y equivalent will be equal to, so admittance of your inductor, it is 1 by j omega L. So right, j omega is unknown, L is 5 millihenry. So 5 into 10 to the power minus 3 plus 1 by 50 plus j omega c. So j omega 500 into 10 to the power minus 9. We know what? At resonance, imaginary part of Y equivalent, it is equal to 0. Okay, we know this. So now let us do that. So this will be what? Means if I want to write this, I can write this like this, plus j common. So this will be omega into 500 into 10 to the power minus 9 minus 1 by omega into 5 into 10 to the power minus 3. So those who know the formula, they can also do this. Omega is equal to 1 by under root of LC. It's okay. 1 by under root of LC radian per second. It's okay. But those of you who don't know the formula, they can solve like this also. Okay. So now if I equate this to 0, the same thing will come. So this will be omega into 500 into 10 to the power minus 9 minus 1 by omega 5 into 10 to the power minus 3 equal to 0. So now you can solve. You will get the same thing. So omega naught, so I have made one mistake at resonance. Whenever I put resonance, this omega will now change to omega naught. Okay, omega naught, remember this. Okay, so it's okay, I haven't changed over here. Let me change it over here. Okay, because this is resonance condition. So 1 by under root of 500 into 10 to the power minus 9 into 5 into 10 to the power minus 3. Okay, so now do the calculations very carefully. Okay, because lot of students, they tend to make mistakes whenever it is written in this notation. Okay, so solve this very carefully. So this will be what? 1 by under root of 5 into 5. So here it is 10 to the power 2. So let me write all the power of 10s in one place. So this is 10 to the power minus 9 minus 3 and it is 10 square. So plus 2. So this is minus 12 plus 2. So minus 10. This will go above. So this will be 10 to the power 5 divided by 5. Okay. Because this is going from under root. So 10 to the power minus 10 will be 10 to the power 5 in the numerator. So this will be basically 10 into 10 to the power 4 by 5, or this is 20,000 radian per second. So the answer to this question is what? It is 20,000 radian per second. Okay. So this was also a good question and there is no such, means you can say, concepts involved over here. So you can see a good number of question has been asked. So this is a 2 mark question, 2 mark 4. This is also 1 mark question. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mark. So 9 marks question on an average has been asked to instrumentation, and all the questions are very simple if you have basic knowledge of your circuit theory. Okay. So I hope you people have understood this session. If you have done so, please subscribe to our channel and like the video. Okay. See you in the next session. Thank you.